Okay, y'all. Good morning. Sunday morning, man, and I'm headed over here to the brush cutting job. I'm fixing to leave now. Yeah, he tried to flip the script on the money, you know, and that's the bad thing about doing some of this skid steer work, because you're dealing with one-time customers. You know, I went over there and looked at the job. It's been about a month ago now. Yeah, maybe even a little bit more, about a month ago. And I walked the property with him. It's not a big job or nothing. And me and him agreed I'd come over there with a skid steer for $1,000, and I would do blah blah blah. But then last night well, first of all, I put him off twice, and not his fault, my fault really. I should have been done this job, got this money, and I should be collecting some other money by now, you know, new money. This job is we agreed to the job a month ago, so you know, the scope, the money, and everything. When I do jobs like this, one-time deals and stuff, I don't go through the hassle of creating a contract and having them sign a contract. I know a lot of guys, they always are talking in the YouTube stuff, you know, well, I got a contract, you know. Well, down here where I'm at, and I don't know, I know it ain't like this everywhere, but I've never gotten beat on any kind of handshake deal. Now, they have tried to flip the script a few times over the years, you know, but the percentage is so small that, you know. But anyway, so I don't get them to sign a contract. You know, what I'll do, if it's like the cleanup over there that we're supposed to do next week, what I do over there where we're trimming branches and doing a multitude of things on the property, what I do that is I send them a quote on the scope in an email. Now my software will generate the scope based on whatever I put in the software. So for this job right here, I didn't do any of that, because I met with them, and it's a one area job. It's not like, you know, take this tree out, go trim those bushes over there, pull this bush out, take that, you know. This is just brush cutting, mulching the woods in the back behind the house. I love doing this kind of thing. So I don't, you know, I didn't send them a scope or nothing, because hell, we talked about it. And then, you know, I had a problem with the skid steer. I done put him off twice. So, yeah. So I felt a certain type of way about that. Anyway, he called me yesterday. We were conversing with text messages. I was, you know, setting things up after I got done with the bamboo site, you know. We already had known that I was coming on Sunday. We learned. I texted him back in the middle of the week and said, we're good for Sunday, and he came back and said yes. But I told him I'd get down to Pacifics, because it's not an all-day job or nothing. It's not like I'm going to be over there 6 or 7 hours. Probably about 3 or 4 hours. But you know, tomatoes. But anyway, so last night he calls me and he says, so I want to ask you if we can do this and this, you know, and maybe not the whole scope of what we talked about. And I'm like, I said, I've already loaded the machine up, and you know, I'm ready to go. This was last night. So he said, because really, I don't want to spend $1,000. I just want to spend $900. And I tell you, if I hadn't had to spend all the money on the skid steer to get it back up and running, you know, all the little, you know, running all the way up to Timbuktu to buy parts, and you know, everything that I did to get the machine back up and going, whether, you know, I was doing that job or not, I had to do that stuff, right? So I said, well, I was a little bit taken aback, I'll be honest. But I got to thinking about everything, and when I told him, I said, well, you know, the scope is the scope. What would you not want me to do? And then he went into telling me, you know, I just said, hey man, let's just, you know, it was like, well, I don't want to do that I don't want you to get to that corner, but I want you to do that, you know, a lot of little minor detail stuff, you know, that I mean, you know, I'm in the shop working on shit, getting things ready to go, and I ain't trying to, you know, get into a little bitty detail stuff, right? So when he said that, I was a little bit taken aback, but I told him, I said, well, $100 ain't gonna make or break me. I need to go on and do this job so I can get my money back that I spent on the skid steer. So the $1,000 job turned into a $900 job that quick. Well, Ray, you should have had him sign a contract when he said 1,000. Okay. Say he did sign a contract that says 1,000. All right. Now what? He calls me and says, Ray, same conversation. I only want to spend 900, Ray. And, you know, what am I going to do, right? Well, if I had a whole bunch of work and I knew the scope over there was broad and wide, then, you know, I would be feeling different. But I took 100 off. And I don't know what you guys would have done, but considering I've been planning all the way up, you know, I already had the machine on the trailer and everything. It wasn't worth $100 for me to take the machine off the trailer, unhook the truck and all that. That wasn't even worth $100 to me. I'd be like, and then had to then be sitting here today with nothing to do. So sometimes, whether it's right or wrong, sometimes you just got to let the customer win or think they're winning. That does is, we talked for a minute last night after I said, well, I ain't gonna let $100 make or break me, man. I'll come over there and I'll do the job for the 900, man. You know, because he got me in a bad spot right at that moment, where things are slow, things are dry, we're not having a lot of work. Skid steer's already on the trailer, just a multitude of things that was gonna cost me if I said no over $100. Now I might have said no, and he might have said, okay, well, come on and do 1,000. But I got a feeling that he was hung up at 9. And you know, $100, well, you know, physically $100 is not a lot of money. Mentally, it kind of changed my thinking of the job in general, because I know me, I'm going to do the job the same. That everything that we talked about, I'm going to do it the same way, you know, either way. So I'm not going to do a shittier job because of $100. I don't know, man. I just it's irritating, a little bit irritating, but you got to, you know, move. You can't dwell on that too long, because now you're losing $100 having to think about it. So. And there wasn't really nothing to think about. When he said it, I thought, I mean, I processed it really fast in my head, and I said, well, okay, you know. Now, a lot of guys would have been like, hell no, man, hey, you should have had him sign a contract. Well, if you'd have signed a contract, it still would be the same thing. I'm not taking him to court over $100. I mean, you know, that's what gets me about all these contracts. If it ain't a damn, you know, a couple $1,000 a month repetitive work, or, you know, a $5,000 or more job, then I'm not trying to, you know, go through all that contract stuff. My software will generate one, and I don't do any contract, not written contracts on any of the lawn maintenance stuff I do, and I never have. But with that being said, I only deal with people that I've been dealing with. The skid steer work, I may have to change a few things, but on a $1,000 job, I'm not, you know, because that's the minimum. I mean, I'm not going to do a contract over that. If they're that nitpicky and stuff, they're not going to hire me, because I'm not going to accept the job and I'm going to be reading the person the whole time I'm there, meeting with them. I'm going to be reading and kind of, you know, determining whether I even want to do the work for them. A lot of times I don't even want to do the work, but I knew based on him pulling up on me at the other job I was at right over there, and then seeing his property, his location and everything, if it, you know, if it made sense, I would do the job. So that's where I'm at, y'all. Okay, y'all, so I'm out just looking at everything and seeing about where I'm at and what I need to do. I think the grapple bucket is going to be my buddy over here, because the grapple bucket will enable me to come in here and grab this stuff out. Trying to get all this with the cutter, that's going to be impossible, because, well, you got all this stuff in the way. I could push this over, right? Because I'm not going to leave. I would never leave anything in the ditch like that, dude. Look at all that stuff in the ditch. So yeah, and then be on the other side with the grapple, and then just grab it and pull it back, right? And then a lot of the stuff like this, I'll just push it over with the grapple, get the root ball and all. And then all these, there's a big mound right here. We got all these pieces of lighter knot, fat lighter, what we call it down here in the south, the whole old dead pine. You know, and see him, you know, going a little shorter on the money. I'm still going to do it the same way. I'm just going to take a freaking hit on the damn, you know, a little hit on the money, not much. And see, if I had a guy on the ground here, I would have him go through and knock all this stuff off, you know, with a hatchet, just walking through here, getting all the lower branches that he could reach. See, I can't stand that right there, dude. I definitely need to put the grapple on. I don't see no point in keep strolling everything around when I can put the grapple on it, and I can methodically go in here and pick this stuff up and take it to the other side of this ditch, get it on the other side of that ditch. Then I can just go mulch it, push it on back into the woods or whatever. So yeah, because all this stuff right here I'll get. Let the machine cool down for a minute. I mean, it wasn't running hot or nothing, but it's working, you know. And see, I wouldn't want to get that oak tree right there, but I'd want to get all this stuff around it. You know, all this right here. But see, I won't be able to get between those that big pine tree and that oak tree to get that little one. See what I'm saying? So there's a lot of little things. See, there's an old pile of wood right there. Y'all see that? And then I just grind all. I mean, this is nothing here. I might have should have started with the grapple, because I'm having a hard time maneuvering without grinding. And a lot of this stuff on the floor of the woods here is like fat lighter, and it's real hard, man. So let me plug this camera in the charger before it goes dead, and yeah.